my name is Carlin and I'm an intern at the Wetlands Center. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about scales, basically counting from one number to another set of numbers with numbers in between. So the first one that I'm going to start with is our thermometer. The thermometer measures the air temperature, the water temperature, and this one is kind of unique because it counts by fives. It travels in increments of 5. So it starts here at 0, and then it goes 5, 10, 5, 20, 5, 30, 5, and so on. So what do you think that those 5s in the middle mean? Is it just 5? It is not just 5. So if we have the 20 and we have the 30 and there's a 5 in between and it's counting by 5s, what do you think the 5 means? If you're saying 25, you're probably correct. It's definitely 25 because this thermometer travels in increments of 5. So if we have this 5 right here in between 10 and 20, that would be 15. Now we have these smaller dashes in between the 5 and the next number. So what do you think that those smaller dashes mean? They mean increments of 1. So from there we can count up or down and find what number it is if it's landing right here. Or let's use our actual temperature, for example, at about 25. Well, that's pretty easy because it's at 25. But if it was, actually, it looks to be about 24. So if we count down 1 right where it lands at that little line at 24, that means it's 24 because it's one little line below the 5. And if it was a little bit further down, it might be 21, or if it was under 20, it might be 19 or 18, depending on where it lands by those little lines. So that is how we're going to read our thermometers. They don't always travel by 5s, but this one does. So our next one is going to be a graduated cylinder. Some of them look a little bit different than this one, but we're going to see how we use a graduated cylinder and count these increments. So I'm going to put about 25 milliliters in this one. So I'm going to dip it into our water. Right now it's at the top, and I'm going to pour some out. My hands are really shaky. Okay, maybe I'll do 20 because I poured too much water out. All right, so that's about right. So right here, you can see the water dips a little bit. That is our meniscus, and that's how we want to measure right where our water lands. So you can see that the meniscus, the bottom of it, the bottom of that little curve, lands at the line at the 20, which is what we wanted. So that is how we would measure that. And if we wanted to do 15, we would just pour a little out and make sure that the meniscus lined up with that little line. So that's how we measure those scales in a graduated cylinder. We want to pay attention to that meniscus. Now we have a big one. This one is a turbidity tube. This one has a very large scale. This is measuring centimeters. So the way we do this one is it travels in increments of 10. So we have the 10, 20, 30. Right here we have a little line with an arrow. So do you think that that's like 32 or 38? If you think so, that's not right. It's 35 because it's right in the middle. So the way we do this one is we're just going to count, right? So we have 30, 35. If we want to do 32, we would count 31, 2, and that would be 32, 33, 34, 35, and then it would go up to 40, as it should. So we're going to see how we measure with this one. I'm going to pour some water in it. I'm going to try to put about 40, no, I'm going to try to do 32 centimeters. So I'm going to pour my water in. Can't really see. Alright, so right now it's at about 35, and it's going to empty a little bit. It's going to let water out, and right now it's at 32. But this one's a little defective, and it keeps letting water out, so we passed 32. Now it's at 30. But you can see where that line meets up with those lines. Right now it's at 29, and then 28, and then 27, and so on. So you can see how it travels down those lines and matches up whichever one it lines up with. Ew, I got water on myself. All right, so that is how we measure some scales. You just gotta pay attention to the numbers and count up or down and figure out what increments it's traveling by. All right, so thank you guys. Hope y'all have a good day.